Have you ever Googled how to be a ghost? Do you want to know what happens after we leave this earth? Well, you're far from alone. Around the world and across cultures, people tap into legends and rituals to imagine life after death. From phantom hitchhikers on moonlit roads to cursed ships forever adrift at sea, we'll explore 9 mystical paths to ghosthood. These are beliefs suggesting that your soul might really stick around after life. Let's begin. Number 1. Denial of one's own death. It is said that souls who can't accept they've died replay their final moments, perhaps seeking proof that they're still alive. A popular legend in Chicago is Resurrection Mary. According to lore, she was struck and killed by a hit-and-run driver on Archer Avenue while trying to hitch a ride home after a dance in 1934. Since then, witnesses report seeing a blonde woman who vanished mysteriously and sometimes even catches a ride before disappearing. Another example, in more recent times, a driver in June 2005 at Detroit's Woodward Avenue picked up a young woman in a white hoodie who asked to be let out at Elmwood Cemetery. When the driver glanced away, she'd vanished, and when he followed up at Elmwood's office, staff confirmed that a woman matching her description had died there in late 2004. Wikipedia's Vanishing Hitchhiker article lists dozens of these encounters, leading many to believe that some souls just can't get that last ride home.
You'd be surprised how many refuse to sign the paperwork. I knock, they hide. I call, they vanish. Denial is the first haunting.
Number 2. Tragic self-determined passings. Some spirits linger when they take their own lives, weighed down by regret. A popular example is at the Hotel del Coronado in California. Kate Morgan checked into room 332 on November 12, 1892, and allegedly ended her life there. Ever since, guests claim to hear knocks at midnight and glimpse a figure in white drifting down the halls. And in Japan's Aokigahara, aka Suicide Forest, stories of pale, silent spirits called yurei wandering the mossy paths went viral online in the 2000s. Park rangers now patrol, leaving water, salt, and handwritten notes to calm those restless souls. Let's see what an expert in immortality thinks about this.
They seek escape, not eternity, but eternity finds them anyway, shapeless, sorrowful, and stuck.
Number 3. Sudden or unrecognized death. According to legends, those who die without knowing it often keep replaying their last day as if trapped in a loop they can't break. An example from the early 1980s, at Tallinn's Old Hansa Inn in Estonia, George Light supposedly died of a heart attack in his sleep, only to be found by staff the next morning. Nowadays, guests report footsteps, slamming doors, and a sudden chill in room 17, as if he still hasn't checked out. Another famous case is in Canada's Castle in the Rockies. At the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel, the ghost bride fell down the grand marble staircase on her wedding day. She never made it to her first dance, and legend says she never realized she'd died. Even today, visitors feel cold spots on the staircase, hear soft sobbing, or glimpse a veiled figure drifting through the ballroom, still searching for that dance she never had.
When death comes quietly, some don't notice. I file the report, but they keep clocking in.
Now, so far, we've seen souls stuck by denial, choice, and shock. But what about spirits born of cruelty? Let's continue. Number 4. Innate malevolence or corrupted spirit. Not every ghost is an innocent soul. In Japanese folklore, jikininki, literally corpse-eating ghosts, are cursed spirits who drift around graveyards at night, starving for the spiritual energy of the dead. Buddhist tales say that monks or samurai who lived with too much greed or cruelty can't escape karma. When they die, their souls become jikininki, condemned to haunt graves and feed on corpses forever. Just another reason to avoid wandering alone in cemeteries at night. And you don't have to travel far to find a spirit born of pure cruelty. Here in the USA, one of the most infamous is Delphine LaLaurie of New Orleans. In the early 1800s, this wealthy madam locked her slaves in an attic and tortured them for years. After a 1834 fire exposed her horrors, Locals say her vengeful spirit never left the French Quarter. Walk down Royal Street after dark, and you might feel her cold stare or hear faint sobs in an empty room. No doubt Delphine Lalaurie won't be heading to heaven, but was she so cruel that even hell locked her out? A vampire offers a colder take.
Cruelty stains the soul. Unlike me, they don't evolve. They rot. Ghosts like these are failed predators.
Number 5. Violent or traumatic death. When someone dies in a violent or shocking way, their spirit may stay behind, driven by pain or rage. These ghosts aren't here to scare you for fun. Instead, they're trapped by the violence of their final moments. Take Myrtle's Plantation in Louisiana. Built in 1796, this old house saw several brutal deaths, including a slave named Chloe, who was hanged for murder. Today, people blame her ghost for strange handprints on the walls, flickering lights in the dining room, and soft sobbing in the hallways. Many say that these are signs of a spirit still bound by her own cruel end. And far off in Scotland, where Edinburgh Castle's cold stone walls hide centuries of bloodshed, one of its most famous ghosts is a headless drummer boy. Legend says he was sent underground during a 1650 siege, never to return. Now they say that the young soldier is doomed to repeat his last orders forever. On quiet nights, you might hear the soft thump of drum beats echoing through empty corridors.
Some deaths scream so loud they echo for centuries. I hear them in my sleep.
Number 6. Curses, dark pacts, or magical bindings. Some promises are too dark to keep. In the mid-1600s, Captain Hendrik van der Decken of the Dutch East India Company vowed to round the Cape of Good Hope.
Even if it takes till Judgment Day.
Legend says the devil himself heard that blasphemous oath and condemned the ship and its crew to an eternal voyage. Mariners have since reported spotting the Flying Dutchman's ghostly sails cutting through storms, cursed to sail forever without finding safe harbor. Another famous bargain lives in the Mississippi Delta. Blues legend Robert Johnson is said to have met the devil at the crossroads of Highways 61 and 49 in Clarksdale, trading his soul for otherworldly guitar skills. Today, when the wind whistles through that stretch of road, people swear they hear ghostly blues riffs drifting out of nowhere.
Immortality requires precision, rituals, preservation. Bargains made in haste lead to wandering, not power.
Number 7. Overwhelming attachment to a place or loved one. When love or obsession is so intense, it roots a soul to a single spot or ties it forever to someone it adored that even death can't break the bond. Take Edgar Allan Poe's spirit at the Providence Athenaeum, for example. Athenaeum is just another word for library, and Poe was a frequent visitor there. It's also where he courted poet-writer Sarah Helen Whitman in 1848. He loved the hush of the oak-lined stacks, the flicker of gaslights, and the candlelit alcoves where they read together. Today, visitors report cold spots among the stacks, soft whispers of the raven, and shadowy figures drifting between the aisles, always near the alcove where he and Whitman once read together. His broken heart, it seems, still lingers among those shelves. Pets can become spirits, too, and it's far from unusual. According to Psychology Today, Marge lost her beloved therapy dog Maria in 2021 and soon began waking to the familiar weight of a body on her bed, the soft click of claws on hardwood floors, and gentle nudges against her hand. Those nightly visitations aren't just grief or imagination, they're the love and loyalty of a spirit still coming home.
Love is the most stubborn paperwork. I've tried to file it away. It keeps returning unsigned.
Number 8. Lack of proper funeral rites. Skipping sacred burial rituals can trap a spirit between worlds. In Malay folklore, the Pontianak is the vengeful ghost of a woman who died in childbirth without rites. She emerges as a pale woman in white, luring victims with mournful cries before vanishing at dawn. Next, let's look to Salem's Burying Point Cemetery in Massachusetts. During the 1692 witch trials, 19 accused women were hanged and buried hastily outside the consecrated churchyard. No priest, no blessing, no ritual rites. Nowadays, Visitors wandering among those weathered gravestones report a pale lady in white gliding between the monuments, sudden plunges in temperature, and disembodied whispers carried on the wind. Denied a proper Christian burial, these restless spirits remain tethered to the soil where they were laid to rest.
Without rites, the soul drifts. We wrapped our dead in linen and prayers for a reason.
From ritual gone wrong to heartbreak that never heals, our last stop is the power of unfulfilled desire. Number 9. Lingering intense emotions or unfulfilled desires. Powerful feelings don't always end with death. La Llorona, the weeping woman, originates in colonial Mexico, where a heartbroken mother drowned her children after her lover's betrayal. Ever since, she wanders riverbanks at night, wailing for the little ones she lost. In more modern times, Peg Entwistle, dubbed the Hollywood Sign Girl, felt all the promise of her career vanish in an instant. In 1932, 24-year-old Peg climbed the maintenance ladder behind the giant H of the Hollywood sign and jumped, crushed by a dream denied. Today, hikers and late-night drivers still speak of a pale figure in a 1930s dress pacing the summit and a lingering sense of hope unfulfilled among the steel girders.
They chase dreams long after the body fails. I chose eternity. They chose longing.
Thank you for watching. If there's any more folk tales or legends on becoming a ghost, write it in the comments. We'll see you next time.